Bjorn Baker is riding the crest of a wave, with last season his best season to date.
And Lay's racing away in an unforgettable millions.
Winning trainer Bjorn Baker.
His enthusiasm is boundless.
Good morning and welcome to another live. We get right into the carnival today. And that's a wrap.
His celebrations go viral. And you might feel like you already know him from his socials, but let's go spend the morning with the man himself to try uncover the method behind the madness.
What do you want me to talk about? Welcome to Warwick Farm. Here we are.
Good morning. What time do we call this?
I'm a touch later than ideal, sorry.
I love that your wife's on here. Make sure she clocks in as well.
Yeah, she should be clocking in. Morning, all good. B, Caesar, B, all good, boys. Fantastic.
What time do you usually roll in? What does your normal morning look like?
So the track opens at 5, so our first horses are always on the track at 5 or just after. We'll check the feed, we'll take the temperature on the walker, then off the walker, getting saddled, ready for that first set. When it gets really hot here, those fans are phenomenal.
How about it's called Big Ass Fans?
Now, we might even wait and get these ones as they come up the tunnel.
Yeah.
Do you want to do that?
Yeah,
because
look,
it's
look at the
crucial.
fast ones.
Pericles in front.
Pericles.
Just been a marvellous horse for the stable within the law. She's in good order. Brilliant. Thanks, Jen. Then we've got Sandpaper. There's Cabalas, who's Mr. Cool as well. Here's Robusto. Of course, he won the Inghams. He's won, I think, $2.5 million. He's been a good horse. And here's Overpass. He'll go for a swim as well.
Buddy.
But he's keen to get on with it.
How many horses are there?
In my stables here at Warwick Farm, I've got 117 boxes.
That's a lot of horses.
When I came here 15 years ago, I came with 2 horses, so I was able to build up slowly. Essentially, you find what works. If there's an easier way to make it work, that'll be me. I'm lucky I've got a great team around me, and Warwick Farm works really well, and I'm lucky I've got 2 of the closest stables to the track, so from an efficiency point of view, it really works well. I'll change my shoes and get ready, go out into the middle and have a coffee and open the laptop and be ready for all the horses to come in. I think there's close to 1,000 horses here at Warwick Farm. I'll tell you, for the 30 trainers, everyone works quite differently. We've got a lot of the leading trainers here. We've got Kieran Maher, who's about to move to Randwick. We've got Chris Waller's got a stable here. Joe Pride, Gary Portelli, Rob and Annabelle Archibald.
You're making sure you're saying the Archibalds, because Annabelle's right there.
Not pretending.
Yeah. Is it?
It's nice thing.
I know.
It was also late this morning.
Yes, I'm glad that you pointed that out. What have you got to say for yourself?
I was going to say something nice, but I'm not now. Having all that competition, having those great trainers here, it makes you a better trainer. You realise you have to aim at getting better quality horses to compete.
Elevate to the standard,
So
right?
you've got to be in to win. If you're not there, it's hard enough competing with Warwick Farm, let alone the rest of the Sydney stables. If you're not keeping up with your neighbours, you're in big trouble here at Warwick Farm. This is the new age horse trainer's best friend. If any young trainer or trainer that wants to be is not familiar with Excel, you will be very soon. On our file here, we've got a race planner. Everything's done, a lot of the horses' ratings, where they're going to go. There's always a lot going on in the back end that a lot of people aren't quite aware of. I think a lot of trainers now are using heart rate monitors related to GPS tracking, so you're getting exact times for the 200, 400, 600, 800. Not to say that that's going to produce results. I think my father, he never had any e-trackers or any GPS data or tracking. And I still find watching gallops, I get a very good idea. So I'd prefer to watch a gallop and then have a look at the data afterwards.
You're just marrying the two together, and it's just an extra tool, right?
For sure.
It can't hurt to have extra information.
Exactly. So, and once again, I put it into my algorithm upstairs.
Maybe it can hurt to have extra information.
It spits out absolute jargon. It doesn't spit out as much jargon as Luke Hilton's algorithm, though, and he's next to me. So you can quote me on that. Luke, what's the verdict?
How many times a day do you speak to Luke? How many times does that phone ring?
A lot. Luke. But I think the big, just one moment. Luke, I missed you. Look, at times it gets testy. He wants to win as much as I do, and we do have good banter. It's the closest thing to a compliment I've ever got. He said, I looked fit this morning, didn't you? Yeah. Look, it's just an extra set of eyes. He'll pick up races that I didn't quite think were ideal. What do you think? I would too, but say that, I'll leave it with you. There's always a lot happening actually in the morning between sort of 7 and 10. That's when I'd have a lot to do with Luke. He's just been in discussion with some beautiful jockeys agents. We love jockeys, but we love jockeys agents even more.
How do you go about booking your jockeys?
I am so jealous that Luke gets to deal with all the jockey agents and I don't have to. We have plenty of fun, but it is full on. And at the end of the day, we want the same result. We want to win or have our horses in the right races to win.
Overpass, half of the course, 4 for 4 and Ascot wins another Winterbottom.
You had your best season ever last season, second only to Chris Waller. Do you put that down to anything in particular?
We had some really good 2-year-olds last year, particularly within the law, OLA.
Tommy Berry, Bjorn Baker have done it.
Last year we were able to probably draw good gates and win some of the big races at fairly long odds, even the Sydney Cup, Arapaho, Steffi Magnetica, just got the Doncaster late, even a race like the Ingham with Robusto. So we're able just to probably be the right place, right time with the right horse, so everything fell into place.
$4 million in 2-year-old prize money alone. That was more than any other trainer in the country for 2-year-olds. Is that a buying quality? Like, what was your strategy for that 2-year-old crop? Was it to buy better bred horses? Was it buy more numbers?
I like that you've done your research. That's excellent. And that's a stat that I've actually were very proud of as a team. And it's just about trying to buy really good horses, a combination of well-bred, good-looking, hopefully fast horses for a reasonable price and try and get sort of a little bit of a return for our clients. Busy week, as always. Of course, the English Easter sales, absolutely thrilled. We were lucky enough to get a couple to train.
Do you enjoy that side of it? Obviously, you really have to lean into it. The Instagram lives, the personality that the brand has become. Do you enjoy that?
But I actually love it, and I always like having fun and having great banter, and that's part of it. Used to be good at this. You've got to promote, you've got to sell. BjornBakerRacing.com.au. Hopefully we've got the results to back that up.
What's your least favourite part of the job?
Oh, undoubtedly the hardest part is dealing with injuries. We all want sound, happy horses, and this is where the trot-ups are so important to try and prevent those career-ending injuries. So this process is we look at every horse in the stable. We check to make sure they're moving well, so that means they're sound, so good of limb and body. So it's great for me to come and have a look. I say this is the most important 2 hours of the whole week.
Yeah.
Being able to have a look at all the horses at once and just see how we're doing.
So when you're looking at them coming out, are you looking condition-wise as well, just to have your eye on them without a saddle on to see how they're looking, how much fat, how much rib they've got?
For sure. And in terms of where they're at and their preparation. Yeah. So obviously as they get closer to racing, they tend to probably find down, get a little bit fitter. Also knowing the individual horse. Some individuals carry a lot more weight than others and they race well with that weight, whereas other horses need to be lean and mean and trim. I know for myself, the lighter I am, the better I perform. I just really struggle to get the weight off like most people. So it's very much about horses for courses. Is that us? No x-rays today.
Are you a good loser?
Better than I used to be. Any trainer in this game is going to get a lot of that. So you do get used to it, but also you've got to use it. How can we get better? How can we compete? Where does it start? It probably starts at the sales. Buying horses. Better horses you've got, the better staff you tend to have as well. You're not going to win all of the time, and it's about trying to manage that.
You just have to accept that.
And be better.
Yeah.
But he comes away overpass and he wins it again. More Baker's delight in Perth.
Cabellis is holding on. Cabellis won the Newmarket.
The inside, Steffi Magnetica, Bella Nipotina, they're the two, they hit the line, and Steffi's won the Stradbroke.
And Bjorn Baker continues his marvellous success.
Did you ever think about going back to New Zealand? Did it ever get early days? Was it hard? You thought, oh, what am I doing here? This is too tough.
Really, I was all in. I was going to try and do everything I could to make it work. Thankfully, it's worked out well, and in some ways too, I was able to follow Chris Waller's lead.
Celebrates a little bit differently to you?
Look, if I celebrated as hard as I do, if I had his team, I'd be dead. So.
Bjorn Baker's going to hug everyone that he sees today.
You must have to pinch yourself when you think about the bloke who rocked up here with 2 horses to 117.
Been great to me, Australia. I love it here, and it's worked out really well, and I'm very lucky. I love what I do. I'm surrounded by great people and great animals, more importantly. It's not always easy. We never take it for granted. Very lucky. Does that sound like a load of I need another coffee.